Hello everybody and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Today I'm going to be going through my 5 tips for starting the school year right. These are all things that I do each and every year before the school year begins to make sure that I'm setting myself up for professional and personal success. So let's just get right into it. My first tip, and I promise this will be the only financial related one, is to do a reset on your finances. If you've fallen off the budgeting horse or you've never even tried to make a budget, this is the perfect time to start one. Catch up for August or set it for September. And even if the beginning of the school year gets so crazy that you don't track any of those expenses, I still believe that setting that intention and setting those numbers for the first budget is a huge help, because you will on some level internalize what you have to spend on different categories. And then it also gives you a starting place for when you want to pick it back up. And regardless of if you are keeping a budget or not, this is the perfect time to check on your investments. Look at the amount that your pension has in it currently. Look at your contributions to your 403b or 457 and maybe adjust them. If you're getting a raise this year, maybe you can add a couple of percentage points to those contributions to speed up your retirement savings. Those are just a couple of tips. I'm actually going to link a video to my summer money checklist down below, and that is where I go more in depth on those 2 topics and also give you a couple other things you can do to clean up your money before the school year starts. Tip number 2, and I might lose some people here, but stay with me. Tip number 2 is to clean out your inbox. Seriously. Clean it out to inbox 0. This may seem hugely daunting, especially if you have left it untamed for many years of teaching, but it is actually totally possible and worth it. And let's be honest, you're not going to do it during the school year, so let's take care of it over the summer and then maintain it in the school year. Here is my system. If I'm going through my inbox and I haven't looked at it in a really long time and I've kind of let it go untamed, I look through the first few months of emails and I do make sure there's nothing I want to keep out of those, okay? And if there is something you want to keep in your inbox, you can star it. And if there's something you need to keep but it doesn't need to be in your inbox at the forefront of your mind, then you can file that away in a different folder in your email. And then once you've gotten like 3 months back into your inbox, I'm pretty positive there's nothing past that point that you're going to need to keep. Now, if you want to be more conservative and really look back through the past 6 months or 9 months or whatever else, it's totally up to you. You can take the time to do that, but after that point, whatever boundary you set for yourself, after that threshold, delete everything. And this will actually speed up the process a lot. At this point, it won't take very long at all because you'll just be clicking a bunch of things. And from there, your inbox should hold only emails that you actually need. I go through my email at least daily and archive the emails that I don't need and file away emails that I do want to keep but don't necessarily need in my inbox. And then everything in my inbox represents an email that I need to have to reference something that might be coming up, or to reply to, or do a task in reply to. Having my inbox clean, I think, saves me so much stress as a teacher. I didn't do this until after my first year teaching, and it really changed my relationship with my email. Now I never miss an email. I make sure I take care of tasks in a timely manner, and it just really alleviates a lot of anxiety that I previously had about my insane inbox. All right, that takes us to tip number 3, and I hope I didn't lose you. I might lose you with this one, but hopefully not. Tip number 3 is you're going to organize your Google Drive. Again, this can seem like a behemoth task, but once again, it's totally possible and totally worthwhile, at least in my opinion. And this is probably even simpler than the emails. I just put everything into folders. Usually I will organize the folders by course, and then within those folders, once I'm done that first part of the task, which could maybe be, you do that one day, and then the next day you can file those documents within the course into different folders by unit or quarter or whatever makes the most sense with how your curriculum is structured. And of course, make sure to be deleting things that you do not need along the way. I do this every summer, and then throughout the school year, I maintain it by just filing away things that I no longer need in the priority page of my Google Drive. So essentially, after a unit or an assignment is over, I file it away into the folder, and everything that is on that priority page is something that I'm actually going to click on. Makes finding documents much easier and saves me a lot of time and energy. Which takes me to tip number 4, which is that before the school year begins, you should decide a new boundary that you want to set on your time and energy. This could be a number of things. It could be leaving right as your duty day ends. It could be locking your door and closing your blinds during lunch and planning to make sure that you are not interrupted by students or adults while you need to be in that deep work phase. Or it could be just not committing to taking on any unpaid roles or any roles in general. My boundary this year is that I'm only going to check my email 3 times a day. I will check it in the morning, I will check it during lunch, and I will check it between the last bell and when my duty day ends. And those are the only times I'll be looking at it. If I can stick to this, it will mean that I will be using my very limited planning time more efficiently and making sure I'm taking care of those tasks that really can move the needle for student learning, such as planning and giving feedback and grading, instead of just fielding emails all day. Which takes us to tip number 5, which is to pick a personal goal and A, start working toward it before the school year starts, and B, make a plan to stick to it during the school year. This is incredibly important because teachers often over-identify with their career and it can take over a lot of your life. And I understand why we do this. Our careers can be incredibly fulfilling. They can take over our lives because they are very time-consuming and there are a lot of unreasonable expectations on us. But I do not want any teachers to be sacrificing their personal interests and personal goals for the sake of what essentially is just their day job. This is a terrible model to our students and a complete drain on ourselves. And this personal goal could be anything. It could just be reading a book once a month. It could be learning about a specific topic outside of teaching, which, by the way, if you want to learn about something that's going to change your life outside of teaching, you should learn about personal finance. Like, comment, and subscribe. But it could be something totally different. It could just be making a plan to get back into a beloved hobby that you've kind of let fall by the wayside. It could be cooking, hiking, knitting, whatever the heck it is for you that's going to let you sort of give back to yourself a little bit each and every day or week is wonderful and perfect and what I'm encouraging you to do. So those are my 5 tips to start your school year on the right foot. If you have any other tips you'd like to add to this that have really helped you start your school year well, please put them in the comments below. I hope you all have an amazing week and I will see you in the next video. Bye!